book. Okay, we're going to talk about that, Chaz. Just 1 second.
You know what time it is?
Boom shakalaka! Woo! Yes. Thank you, Caleb, with our boom shakalaka music, and welcome to Miss Rocky and Shaviva North End Update Live, because there's always something good happening on the North End.
That's right. I'm sorry. I missed my cue. I'm sorry, Shaviva.
That's okay.
I'm filling in today, but it's great to be here with the North End Update, and I'm really excited about the show. I've been blessed to be on the best show you've had so far.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. And
so be prepared.
Okay, and it's the best show on the internet.
Yes.
Just ask Derek Holmes. He'll tell you. And if you don't know who Derek Holmes is, he actually gifted us this beautiful clock.
Beautiful clock that if you've been watching for a little while, you've been able to see it, and it's just a wonderful display.
Yes, we're going to have a great show coming up. We'll be having Bob Tyson joining us, Waterloo Proud Bob Tyson, and as well as Abena, Sankofa,
I'm Hotep.
Yes, she'll be with us soon. And she's the children's book author of this lovely children's book that you're going to want to get as soon as you hear about it. Shout out to Amy Cass.
Awesome.
Sally Preby, Cora Turner, Harold Rogers Jr.
And Tiana Smart, Angel Stigler, Karen Phillips, Terrell Jordan Sr. Hello, shout out to you guys. Be sure to like our North End Update page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and check out our website. We have a website.
Yes, we have a website.
Yes.
Thanks to Shaviva, our website designer. And speaking of shout out to Shaviva, my bestie. Hey, Shaviva.
Yes, hi, Shaviva.
She's living at large in Arizona, and she may be actually hopefully communicating with us, but she might be too busy.
Too busy having fun, reconnecting with family, and enjoying the day.
Right. So we have learned, we got our Give It Air segment today, and that's coming up soon. Right before we introduce our guests, we'll kind of talk to them a little bit about what we've learned about George Washington's dentures, and they weren't made of wood. So I don't know how many people know that, but you educators may or may not know some of the information we've found. Newsflash, birthday people.
Birthday people.
Stay tuned to stick around, because Abena can not only write, the woman can sing.
Ooh.
I heard
I
she could sing. And I think Bob probably bought a guitar or something. He's gonna strum or drum. Yeah, we're gonna make Stevie Wonder look good today.
Yes, wonderful.
All right. Well, every week we get a note from the email, Chastity, and this week, what was her name? Chastity, we wrote it down somewhere else. Amy from Cedar Falls.
Amy from Cedar Falls asked, how much does it cost for the paint and sip?
Oh, that's right. Thank you,
Yes,
Amy.
What's the answer to that?
Well, we do those paint and sips, and Shaviva being such a popular artist, we have a lot of interest in people wanting to get together and sip and paint, wine, coffee, and we usually charge $30 if you provide the snacks per person. We bring the canvas and the paint and the water and the easels, all that, and $35 if we provide the snacks. So make sure you contact us if you're interested in that at North End Update at.
I don't know the website. You're the one supposed to know that.
Gmail. Thank you.
northendupdate@gmail.com.
Thank you. It's right on the screen. That's our. See, I get the website, the North and the Gmail.
It's a lot to remember.
It's a lot.
It is.
Okay. Thank you, Chastity.
Yes.
All right. So, usually at this time we talk about I hope Agnes has a graphic, because Shaviva's not here with her real book.
Oh.
But Soul
Town.
Yes, the wonderful Soul Town. What you know about the Soul Town?
I like the Soul Town. It is awesome.
Okay, you do like the Soul. Oh, you're jealous? What you say? I don't like the Soul Town. I do like the Soul Town.
I said I like the Soul Town. like the Soul Town.
What do you like about it?
I like the fact that it's Cherie Kaba's Soul Town, and she is a local from Waterloo native, and highlights the awesome things of the people in our community.
That's right. That's right. And you can get your copy digitally at thesoultownmagazine.com, or you can stop by Earth's Beauty Supply right here in Waterloo on Franklin Street, Chas.
Yes.
All right. Well, we have a little encouragement for those viewers out there, and on our Facebook page, if you've been watching and keeping up with us, we have a little meme that says, don't give up because of one bad chapter in your life.
That's right. Keep going. Your story doesn't end here.
Right.
So.
And we always know somebody might need to hear this. And what's your take on that, Chas? Have you had any bad chapters that you wanted to give up, or do you know? Being a pastor, I'm sure you may run into that.
Absolutely. You know, I think if you haven't yet, keep living.
Right.
You will run into seasons in your life that you feel like it's difficult to believe that it's only a season, you know, but you think about winters here in Iowa. I know when my daughters and I have been in the car in the wintertime, and when the roads are so thick of ice, like melted and then refrozen ice, it just looks like it's the road. It's just this icy, slushy mush. And the kids are like, man, it's hard to remember what the road actually looks like because it's so frozen and cold, but it really is a season. Keep living, keep taking one day at a time, one foot in the front of the other, and this too shall pass.
That's right. Well, thank you. I think we have the best person to even talk about that, you know, because that's a great parable. And we just felt that somebody might need to hear that. And keep following us and talking to us. And if you have a comment about that, if you're going through a tough time, just remember that it's not, trouble don't last always.
It's not.
Right.
Trouble don't last always. And if you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep going.
That's right. That's right.
Don't just stop because you don't want to be there. Just keep moving forward. And if I could say one last thing.
Sure. Go ahead. Are you still encouraging us?
I am still
okay.
encouraging.
Okay.
You know, there's a thing called a refiner's fire. And my reference is the Bible.
Yes.
A refiner's fire is the temperature is exactly the right heat. It's not too hot. It's the masterful refiner won't keep you in there longer than what is needed to produce and draw out those impurities and imperfections that the fire draws out of precious metal. So you want to stay in. You don't want to get out too soon because you won't be developed enough. So sometimes we're going through a refiner's fire that's meant to help you, not to harm you. So don't get out too soon, or you might miss the blessing on the other side.
Ooh-wee. That's a nice parable as well. And you don't want to go through trouble and not reap your harvest
That's
afterwards.
right.
You
Yeah,
know? It's like
don't give up. Don't give up. Keep going.
going through labor pains and leaving the baby at the hospital.
That don't make no sense.
It don't make no sense. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Chastity, for those wonderful words. And with that, maybe our guests have some reflection on those things, because I know you guys have both lived a while. So let's introduce our wonderful guests. We have with us Abena Sankofa Imhotep.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yes,
Thank you.
welcome.
to see you.
A children's book author, and we're just so happy to have you. And you're so
Yes.
welcome. And of course, Waterloo proud Bob Tyson. You were
Mr. Tyson.
Mr. Tyson.
I can't
yes.
call him Bob because he's
Thank
my
you for inviting me to
educator.
share this. I'm glad to be here, and it's truly an honor. So thank you. And before you go, I just want to say thank you to the many thousands of students I've had,
Yes.
parents, teachers, support staff, and individuals in the community that have helped me.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's a great start for a good conversation, I'm sure. We're going to ask you, like we always do, ladies first, talk to us about not giving up. I know you had some roadblocks in the process, maybe, of writing your book.
Absolutely. I think it's so easy to give up. Giving up is easy to do. The hard part is realizing that there is more down the road and to keep going. So I would just encourage everyone watching and everyone listening to understand that where you are is a place, as Chastity said, for you to be refined and not to give up. There is more at the end. Keep going. Don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
That's
right.
right. That's right. Well, thank you for that. You want to reflect on that a little bit?
Yeah,
How
I just
you
wanna
going to
say,
encourage people?
That was interesting you brought that up because there's a person who was a Jamaican that some of us may not know about, Marcus Garvey.
Marcus
Okay.
Garvey.
Okay,
Yes.
and he was one of those that, in Jamaica, quite a long time ago, that believed it was important, that nationalism was important, that his country was important, that people were there. And he also came to the United States, but he said something too about, if I remember, about not giving up. Because if you give up, you're 2 steps behind.
Okay, that's right.
And that race for life. But if you get in there, hang in there, and challenge it, then you're going to win that race for life. So
There you
thank you
go.
for bringing that up.
That's
Right.
good.
Well, thank you. Now,
beautiful.
if you're not encouraged by now, I don't know what to tell you. Right. Caleb, I'm going to need that pen if you don't mind. Thank you. Oh, I know you wrote the names down, right?
Yes, I did.
And the first 4 people that said Boom Shakalaka will be in a drawing. Caleb is getting those names ready for us to put into our bucket for Dominique's Seafood. See, you've been from Cedar Rapids. Is that
From
where-
Des Moines.
Oh,
Des
from Des
Moines,
Moines.
yes.
You might not be familiar with our hometown Dominique Wallington.
I've heard of Dominique.
Okay,
Yes,
in Des
good.
Moines.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Have you
good.
had her food yet? Dominique's Seafood?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, you in for a treat.
I'm
You're
telling
in
you.
for a treat.
That's why we'll have so
do
many
that tonight.
people.
Yes,
I
that's
think
what I was
so.
thinking. The same thing, Mr. Tyson.
All right. So today in our Give It Air segment, we're going to go ahead and bring that up now. We like to talk about some things that sometimes don't get discussed because they're hard to talk about, and some of our history is hard to talk about.
That's right.
So and since that tumultuous summer of 2020, we've decided to just bring some of those things up for discussion. So we're talking today about the dentures that George Washington actually had, and a lot of people say that they were made of wood. Well, through research, we found out that they weren't made of wood. They were made of enslaved people's teeth. And that's even hard to say. Supposedly, they were paid for their teeth, but can you imagine what kind of payment would that even be, or how much would you pay to extract somebody's teeth? And then I was reading further, and it wasn't known because one reason was racism, because they wouldn't want George Washington or other affluent white people wouldn't want anyone to know that they would even use a black person's teeth because of the racism. They wouldn't, but it was undercover. Right. So those are some things that we found out, and so we can understand why today's history is hard to teach.
It is. It is hard to teach, and although it's hard to teach, but it's important to teach, because a lot of times you hear a lot in. One of the sentiments you hear often is never forget. We say never forget 9/11, never forget the Holocaust. But when it comes to our history, Black history, we oftentimes say just forget about that, move on, move on. And it's definitely not okay to forget. We must honor our ancestors by remembering what they suffered and how this nation is built on their backs, and how the opportunities that we have today are largely directly because of the wealth that we enjoy in this country, the fact that we are a leader internationally as a nation is because we had so much free labor, and the wealth that we experience now is not somewhat
By
because of that, but
coincidence.
very much because of that.
Yes.
I agree, ladies. I did not know we were going to be talking about historical things today, but it is true. George Washington was one of many white people in the American story that used the teeth of enslaved Africans as their own. So it's one horrific example of ways that Black people have contributed, whether that's voluntary or involuntary,
Right.
to the fabric of this nation. And so, as you said, Chastity, it behooves us as a community of African American people, African people in America, to tap into our ancestral memory, our collective memory as a people, so that we don't forget.
Yes.
There is a historical memory that we should pay homage to, and remembering those kinds of things through study and conversation is terribly important.
Right. So so it never ever happens again.
And that's one of those things. Being a teacher, and I don't want to say how old I am. Some of you know
Sure.
out there. Some of my students aren't too far behind me. But being a first-year teacher back in 1971, and I remember going to school about a week before school started, and I was there to just get all my materials for my social studies classes and language arts classes. And of course, having 8th grade history at that time, we never learned those things about
Never, ever.
Jordan. All we learned about was
The cherry
he crossed
tree.
the Delaware River, you know,
And the
those types
cherry
of
tree.
things. So very important that we bring those issues apart, because there was no reading coaches, teaching coaches anymore. Back then, it was just that, okay, he left me there with the good principal, but he left me there with those books.
Sure.
It was my way to get in. Okay, I had to go in there and read. Okay, what am I going to do the first day of school? That type of thing. And
Sure.
Didn't have anybody do my bulletin boards or anything. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ancient
yeah.
history, y'all. But,
Yeah, it's all good to know, and it's good to have conversations like this. You know, not just to give air to the bad parts, because there's a lot of good stuff we need to give air to as well.
Sure.
Like, yeah. So we got a lot of things
And that's
coming
the
up.
whole rest of the show. Is
That's
all
right.
of the
The rest of the show
All
is
the
all
good
about the good
stuff.
stuff, but we had to give
Give
that a
it
little
air.
air, because sometimes airing things out is the best disinfectant.
That's right. That's
All right. Well, we're going to talk to our lady first. This
Yay.
lady author. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
I looked through this beautifully illustrated book about the main character, Omari, and he went to find a tree to make a drum.
Yes,
Talk about
that
the
is
story.
the basic gist.
Yes.
Yes, so I am completely overcome by Omari. As this is my first book, Omari's Big Tree in the Mighty Djembe, and it was a labor of love. I've been a writer for a very long time. I worked for the Iowa Bystander newspaper when it was published in Des Moines.
Oh,
I was a
nice.
columnist for 7 years. But then I became a grandmother, and something happened that I wanted to share these powerful stories with my grandchildren. And one of my favorite writers, Toni Morrison, has always said, if you are looking for a book and you can't find it, then you should write it.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Good.
So I
yes.
took that personally and decided to write Omari
Yeah.
for my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Well, thank
That's
you.
awesome. I love it. That's great. I had that same philosophy about pretty much everything.
With their school, yeah, right.
If you don't see something, make it.
Absolutely. I will
Yeah, and if it
find a way
bothers
or
you-
I will make a way.
Right.
Yeah,
And if it bothers you, then it's probably God's way of prompting you to do it.
absolutely.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
And so tell us about the writing process.
Oh gosh, the writing process was pretty tedious because as a first-time book writer, first-time author of a book, I didn't quite know where to go. So I began with just the concept of a black boy in particular seeing himself as a hero in a story.
That is so needs to be celebrated so much more, to have heroes that are black.
Absolutely, and particularly for black boys, those are the students who are struggling the most. And I work with a group of students in elementary schools in Des Moines Public Schools. I work with them in an after-school literacy program. And the deficits are right in front of us. And it's not, you know, there's blame and finger pointing, but it's more to me about solutions. So if a child can see themselves not only represented, but representative in a story, then that can make all the difference for them and encourage a love of reading.
Yes, yes. Very nice. And who did your illustrations? You'll have to talk about your illustrator.
Absolutely. So my illustrator is a wonderful young woman in Des Moines. Her name is Mintz Chan.
All right.
And she, her parents migrated to Des Moines from Vietnam in the 70s. And so I met with her. Became familiar with her artistry during 2020, during the uprisings after George Floyd. She was doing a lot of social justice art. And so I reached out to her, and we talked about this project and what it could be and how we could work together, and I'm so fortunate that it worked out.
She did such a good job. I love everything about the illustrations.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you so much for sharing your work with us. And how can people get a hold to the book? And if they
Absolutely.
want to talk to you more about maybe writing or be inspired by what you'd like to share with them.
Thank you. So Omari's Big Tree and the Mighty Djembe is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, any place that books are sold online. You can find Omari's Big Tree and the Mighty Djembe. It will be in Sold Book Nook very soon.
Okay, I was going to say, you got to
Yes.
talk to Robin.
I did, and she's lovely.
Not Robin, Amber.
Amber,
We
Amber.
call her Robin.
So it'll be there very soon. And if you would like to reach out to me, please visit my website, abenasankofa.com.
Love it, love it. And Agnes has her name up there, and she's going, well, I think she's fixing it and going to put it back up there soon, abenasankofa.com. Love it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, thank you.
Thank you. And I love that bright pink, too.
Yes,
You're really-
beautiful.
Hey, you look beautiful. And also, I want to say congratulations to you, but we'll get to that at the end. We forgot to talk about Chaz last night. Wasn't she showed
It
out?
was amazing.
Wasn't it? Wasn't
I
it
can't wait
great?
for that part because I'm going to really talk about that.
Oh.
Your words so inspirational.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yes. But what do you want to ask?
Oh,
Mr. Tyson.
Mr. Tyson, absolutely. Mom, you have to help me out where we are because I lose my spot so easily.
Mr. Tyson, we don't have a spot.
Oh,
it's just
Mr.
that we
Tyson,
wanna
how are
thank
you?
about,
Yes.
about your, was this last year that you were inducted into the Hall of Fame, or have you been in the
Just
Hall
this
of Fame?
past month.
This past month. Well,
Congratulations
congratulations.
to you.
That's
Wonderful.
wonderful.
And that was for
Congratulations.
athletics.
No,
No?
I'm already in the athletic one, and
Oh.
but this is for East High, the class of 1967.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'm certainly honored, and just to to represent that class, because there were so many. There were valedictorians, national merit scholars, in that class, and I never thought I would be in the East High,
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that came across my mind as an educator or prevention specialist. But it's just, I figured I did my job in this community and didn't think about that, and didn't think about I've had, I think, 15,000 students in my
Oh,
life,
my
and
goodness.
not counting parents and teachers and support staff, and then my second life after education, working with the Seeds of Hope, Waypoint Services, and with Family and Children's Council.
Oh, what a wonderful group.
So,
and what a great legacy.
And I was with a person the other night. He said he'd worked 50 years. And I thought, wow, that's quite a long time. So I've got 44, so I've been around for a while. But again, I kind of feel like I'm walking in the footsteps of giants with that award, because there's so many other people that were before me. I think about Lily Ferguson.
Okay.
It's one of my teachers back at Grant, Carver. In those days, back in the 60s, we had very few African-American educators in Warren. Probably, you can count them on one hand.
I bet.
People like Jim Jackson at McKinstry, Walt Cunningham,
Okay.
Olabelle Reed. So many I'm leaving out too. So, and Mrs. Ferguson was one of those that was really tough on us. Okay, all of us, and we remember her. And of course, she had a little ruler too.
Not the ruler.
Yeah, she didn't take care of business. She took you in that back room, and you may still have a few marks. But she was a great educator, and when she retired, I was just being hired. And I thought, back in 1971, so I thought it would be great to kind of connect up with Mrs. Ferguson, but she retired. But too, she was a great teacher, taught us a lot, and I want to just kind of give Grant School, Carver, some credit, because we did create quite a few educators. They got Lolita Montgomery.
Oh, yes.
The Allen brothers.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Jeff Ferguson was somewhere in there.
Yes.
Okay, yes, and he's at Royal Legacy
You mentioned
now.
2 people that are at Royal Legacy. Lolita Montgomery is on our board of
Yeah.
directors at
Oh,
Royal
yeah.
Legacy, and Jeff Ferguson is our K through second grade literacy
Yeah,
teacher.
and
So-
there's probably some teachers that I'm leaving out over through the years, and
Yeah.
I don't want to forget somebody like Mr. Russ Lowe.
Oh, yes.
He was the only African American teacher at East High when I went there.
Oh, my
64
goodness.
to 67. We did have an African American secretary, you know, but it's just folks like that that you think about and go back and say, hey, they were the pioneers and kind of
Yes,
set
they
the stage. Don't forget Walt Cunningham.
Right.
They were there.
They were.
And so there are a lot of people that were there before me, but I kind of leaned on their backs a little bit
Yes,
to know what
yes.
I've learned. And
But yeah, and that's really giving you guidance and how you wanted, by seeing these role models has really kind of helped form who
yeah.
you are.
And you
right?
mentioned our young men, and our students need role models. Not to say that I made a difference with every student, but it's one student at a time anymore. And I want to go back real quick, too, to maybe somebody you can recognize, Tom Brokaw.
Okay.
Okay, with NBC. And
Yeah.
I think Tom Brokaw once said that it's easy to make $1, but it's a lot more difficult to make a difference.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
True.
profound.
And I
That's
like to think
very
that I've made a
good.
difference in some of our students and parents' lives over my 44 years.
My goodness.
And 1 year in Burlington, where I left Waterloo and decided I'm leaving, and I wanted to do something different. And I had a great experience down in Burlington, working with the families down there in the NAACP in the school system.
Wow.
And then Waterloo asked me to come back, and I said, okay.
Well, you had to come back. We need you here. What a blessing you are to our community, Mr.
Absolutely.
Tyson.
Mr.
And-
Tyson was an administrator at West High when I was a student at West, and so it's a blessing to just see you continuing to serve, continuing to be a bright light in so many different ways.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Taking a few pies and
Okay.
kissed a few pigs in my life.
But you know what? That's what makes this community great is to have people, because we're standing on your shoulders, a lot of us. So it's really great to have you here to grace our set. And we have some
Yes.
comments, I think.
Yes.
Bernadine Fintel Corey
Oh.
says, I taught at Logan when Cunningham was there.
Oh, my.
right.
Yes, she's a teacher that also often chimes
Great, yeah.
in.
So-
Well, Mr. Tyson, we want to congratulate you on
Thank
your
you.
induction in the Hall of Fame, and we want to encourage you to keep coming back and visit with us
Okay.
again. We'll have you back again at the
Thank you.
beginning of the year, and you can just update us on all the other stuff you wanted to say today, because I
Okay.
know there's so much more.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for, everything that we want to do, but we really love it when we can honor people like Bob Tyson.
Yes.
I mean,
absolutely.
right? I mean, what a great guy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And now I think Caleb has our drawing just about ready.
The first four?
The first four.
All right.
But I'm sorry if you were late. You should have been on time because we're going to have Dominique's seafood. I can taste it now.
Oh my gosh,
We're
I'm
gonna-
so hungry right
You gotta
now.
get to Dominique.
Yeah, you
Honey,
do.
you got to, and you got to follow her to find out what's going on.
Yes.
So, all right.
Do I take the other ones out?
No, we got all those in from last week because
Yep.
now on every month we're going to draw a drawing on the last Friday of the month.
Oh,
So,
good. Okay.
all right, can you do a drum roll for us real quick?
I'll help.
There you go, everybody. All right, beat them
Because
drum.
Omari's a drummer.
There you go. All right, Chas, go ahead and draw.
Oh, I get to draw. Okay.
Announce this name. The winner
The
of
winner is Chastity. No, sorry.
I'm going to a
no
Chiquita.
Chiquita Lovelace from
Chiquita
last
Lovelace.
week. Yay!
Congratulations, Chiquita. Thank you for tuning in. And
Yes.
you are the winner of Dominique's
Seafood.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, you are the big winner today. That is for sure. That is a great prize.
Yes, we got to tell you about We Arose Co-op. Don't forget, congratulations, Chiquita, but we got to get this in, Chastity. They are
that?
helping eliminate food deserts by increasing access to affordable, local, healthy food options.
Yes, that's right.
Greens to Go is a mobile market that offers fresh produce every week on Tuesdays and Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. at Jubilee United Methodist Church, Chaz.
Yes.
The corner
And
of
they
East 4th
are-
and Newell Street. They have greens, green beans, purple hull peas, yellow squash, and so much more. Look at the sign. They got all of that and more.
Yes.
Get your delivery or curbside pickup.
Order at 319-252-4622. And don't forget to mention Rocky and Shaviva and get one free item added to your order when you do that.
Right.
So what a wonderful thing that's
Yes.
happening. We have got to.
So innovative. I
Yeah.
mean, who thought of that? Get your greens to go. I
Yes.
love it. You know,
Oh,
go get you
please.
some greens.
Absolutely. That's
Okay,
right.
got to thank our Grout Museum District and be sure to check out their website and more info on upcoming exhibits and also Banneker Watches. We love you. And UNI Educational Talent Search,
Yes.
EOC.
That's right. Those are people that we have to shout out because that's why we get to hear all the wonderful things happening on the North End.
Right, and pay Caleb. It's payday.
Yay.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, we got birthday
Yay.
people. Caroline Galloway, Craig Hansen, Stalling, Claire Cartledge, and Floyd Harward, John Childs, Charles Jefferson, and who else, Chaz?
Rudy Jones, Dion Sproles, Kiwa,
Yes.
Ferguson Johnson, my cousin, Libby Johnson, Stacy Heiser,
Yes.
Bernadine
Fintel Kors, the one that just said something. Happy birthday, Bernadine.
Yes.
I'm sure you would agree. It wouldn't fit more perfectly than to have a world party on the day you came to be. Happy birthday.
Birthday to ya.
Happy birthday. Come on, Caleb, I
to
can't
ya.
hear you.
Happy birthday, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Party up in here. Now you know you're ready to kick off your weekend.
That's right. Happy birthday.
We got great shows coming up. Bill Beck, Waterloo Fire Chief on 10-7, 10-14, Grant Veeder, Bree Boss from Gates Park, Transformation. Who else we got, Chaz?
Wayne Castle New Marina
Yes,
to
to
be
be
located
located.
near the Marriott.
Right, we can paddle boat and stuff.
Ooh, that's so exciting. I can't wait to hear about that. That's
Right,
so good.
right.
And as
That's it. And
Yes.
so until next week, we want to encourage you all to keep doing more of what makes you awesome, like Abena and Mr. Tyson.
That's right.
Because it makes us all look good.
Yes.
And if it's Friday, it's North End Update. See you next time.